Hi, I'm Bill, and this is Houseworks. Today I'm going to show you how to do a remodel job. This is a minor remodel job on this small bathroom. What we're going to do is we're going to take this wall out to give a little bit more space in the bathroom. Little issue we have to deal with is this air conditioning and heating vent here. That's going to have to be moved. It's most likely going to end up in the floor. The other thing that we're going to do to this bathroom is we're going to take this carpet out and this ceramic tile over here, and then with the room all open we're going to put new ceramic tile from the doorway all the way to the tub. This is going to necessitate the removal of the toilet, and to get that out of the way, also when we get this wall out we're going to create a small, there's a small space back here that you can't see right now, but there's going to be a linen closet right back here. So stay tuned, we're going to give you the tips on how to do this. I believe you can do this yourself. Alright, the first thing we're going to have to do is get this toilet out of the way. There are a few very simple steps to getting a toilet out. First thing you want to do is turn the valve off down here to stop the water flow. Flush the toilet and get as much of the water out as you can. Once that's done, then there's two bolts, one over here and one over here, that you got to take off. Disconnect the supply line, and then all you have to do is lift the toilet up. What I'm doing right now is I'm getting the water out of this tank. I always use a sponge to do this. It's just a lot easier. And it's after you flush the toilet, let as much out as possible. Then you can use a sponge to soak up a lot of the water. And that's just so that when you're moving the toilet, it doesn't spill out all over the place. I've already just turned the water off. The next thing I'm going to do is take this nut here off to disconnect the supply line right at the source. Very simple job. Just take a crescent wrench and loosen it up, and sometimes we can finish it up by hand. This time I can't. The water supply is now loose. Next thing we're going to do is take these nuts off on the bottom of the toilet flange. These can be hard to get off at times because when plumbers cut the tops of the bolts off, sometimes it burrs the top of the bolt, making it difficult to get the nut off. Okay, as is to be anticipated in almost any project that you do like this, you're going to run into problems that you didn't expect. We've run into a problem on this toilet. The bolt, the flange bolt down here, the top of the bolt was so messed up and it was so rusted, and I cannot, and plus the bolt is turning inside the flange down below here, so I cannot get the bolt off. So we're going to have to saw through the bolt to get the thing off. It's an unfortunate thing, but sometimes these things happen. Probably about one toilet in every 10 I'll run into an issue like this. So I'm going to cut this bolt off. Okay, we finally got the bolt cut off, and now the next thing we're going to do, I've put a tarp inside the tub, and for this particular job that's probably going to be the best place to put the toilet to get it out of the way while we're doing the job. So the next thing is you just grab the toilet, just lift it straight up, carry it in here and stick it in the tub. Okay, we have the toilet out of the way. The next thing to do is to get this carpet out of the way. Now, What you want to do is, since there's carpet in the hallway, we want when the door is closed so that you can see carpet to the door, and when you're inside the bathroom you see tile to the door. So generally what we'll do is we'll cut the carpet right in the center of where the door is. Now I'm going to cut it a little bit long today, and then we'll trim it later on we'll trim it a little bit later when we're cutting the carpet in. You get a good sharp utility knife and just stick it down in here and make an incision. Again, I'm leaving myself a little bit of extra carpet, so I'll have some trimming to do when we finish the job. Now all you got to do is just pull the carpet back. You can see here where the carpet layers made a joint right here in the doorway. And likely we'll trim it off right there when the job's over. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take this door frame out. No big deal. The basic thing is, if you want to try to save any of the wood, if you're going to reuse maybe the trim or the door frame somewhere, best thing you can do. And if you're doing a remodel job in which you're not taking out the wall, you always want to cut around where they've caulked the door frame to the wall. So always take a sharp knife and go right around the edges like this. Cut that caulking away on all sides. Usually it's not caulked across the top up here. There's also caulking right down in this little place right here. So you just take the knife and cut that away. Got the caulking cut away, then the easiest thing to do is go with a pry bar. You have to have a hammer. Let's see here. As much as you can, try to stay off of the wall. You're not broke, so. Alright, we've got the flooring out. We've got the door and its door casing and jamb out. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this drywall off this wall and get ready to take the wall out. Before we start cutting drywall out, we always do this. You want to cut the tape in the corner and across the ceiling so that when you pull this drywall off, it doesn't rip the facing off of the drywall adjacent to it. So take again a very sharp knife and come down here and score this tape line right here. You want to cut all the way through it. You don't want to just score it, but cut all the way through it. And of course across the top as well. looking up here, you'll notice that this particular ceiling has a popcorn texture on it, which means that when we put this, patch the ceiling back, we're going to have to either match the popcorn or we'll scrape the whole ceiling off and do a new kind of texture, depending on what the homeowner wants. Alright, I've scored the corners and around the top, and I made a cut down here where this wall is going to end right here. Now the next thing to do is get this drywall off. Generally what I'll do is take the hammer and make a hole here so I can get my hand in. And then the best way I've found is start slowly working it loose like this. And that is basically it. This piece of ductwork in this wall right here, that shows that the air conditioning unit is down in the basement. So what will happen, the way we're going to handle this, we're going to cut the ductwork off at the floor, and we're going to put a floor grill in when the new tile goes down. We'll put a new floor grill down there, and that will heat this room. Alright? Well, we got it done. We've got about 5 hours into it, as you can see. We've got the carpet out, the toilet's been moved, the wall's been taken out, the air conditioning duct, which was a metal duct inside the wall, has been removed. We can see down into the basement, which this part here is over a garage. There's an air conditioning line under there. We'll put a new boot here tomorrow, and we'll also put down the 1/4-inch backer board for the floor for the tile to go on. We'll put the drywall patches in here, here, and here, and we'll be ready to go. See you next time.